him in. Let him in.
Anesthesiologist David Arakaki was in the parking lot getting ready to leave when he heard the call for a doctor.
Okay, let me in.
All right, I'll let you in. Okay, here we go. All right.
His color's not good. Check the airway again. The soft tissue and tongue was obstructing the larynx despite all kinds of neck, jaw, head maneuvers. I want a defibrillator. He needed advanced life support equipment.
Right now, sir, we have none of that. All we have is what you got. Paramedics are supposed to be on the way.
It seemed like it was forever waiting for the ambulance to get there.
And I thought, this is it. They can't keep him going this long.
Within 12 minutes of Bert's collapse, a medic unit with the Felton Volunteer Fire Department arrived, led by Captain Dave Newell.
What we got is a possible man down, possible heart attack.
To my surprise, we were met by two gentlemen on horseback that were dressed in Civil War garb. They basically said, follow us. And for about the last 250, 300 yards, we were led.
Okay, guys, what you got?
Cardiac arrest.
When we first saw him, he had no pulse, he had no respirations. Basically, he was clinically dead.
I'll take over compulsions. Do we have a relative here, please?
Right here.
I turned to his wife, who was standing right there, and she was telling me, you have to zap him, you have to zap him.
Start won't restart without paddles.
It was very disheartening to me to turn to her and say, I'm sorry, ma'am, we don't have the paddles. We're a volunteer department, and we couldn't afford them.
We're going to do everything we can.
That was a hard pill to swallow.
Paramedics are coming, and they have the paddles.
They needed advanced life support equipment, but that ambulance was still miles away.
Color's still bad.
1, 2, 3, 4, and 5.
I could tell by the people working on him that he was getting in more and more serious condition.
Color's still bad.
1, 2.
What was going through my mind was, this could be the end. After being married and being together for so long, I think the thing that I would miss the most would be his sense of humor and his orneriness.
1, 2, 3.
By the time the advanced life support unit arrived, Bert had been without a heartbeat for more than 20 minutes.
When we finally got to the patient, we hooked him up to the cardiac monitor.
1, 2, okay, let's
3,
stop CPR,
4.
please. We have a VFib on the monitor. Continue CPR, please, while it's charging. 1, 2, 3, 4,
Paddles are
5.
charged. Clear.
I remember them shocking him because I remember him jumping from the ground. And then he didn't move.
We're still in a VFib. Go ahead and continue CPR. Everybody clear?
Clear.
I hit him again, and he didn't move again. And then I started thinking, he's dead. He's dead.
Paramedics then attempted to put an airway in and found it very difficult.
Let me try. Nurse, come in, your nurse. We need the nurse.
Finally, Dr. Arakaki got down and worked on him.
Okay. It's in. It's in. Okay, oxygen.
We were able to establish and maintain a good airway, finally.
Bag.
Color's better.
Okay, sounds good. You're in.
3 or 4 minutes after we gave some medications, we started getting pulses. At that point, we knew that we needed to get the patient en route to the medical facility.
They had managed to regain a weak pulse, but were unsure how long they could keep it going.
Everybody was just really stunned. We thought he was dead.
Well, they had some.
And as the ambulance drove away from the scene, uniformed people on both sides saluted.
There was no more civil war and no more battle, and there were no longer blue and gray.
Just remember standing off thinking, God, not Bert. Not Bert.
How's the compliance? It's going. It's tight, but we're getting close.
Once I got him in the ambulance, I was really listening to the monitor in the back.
Okay, stand by. Hyperventilate. Go ahead and hyperventilate.
And it sounded like they had lost him.
Okay, they're charged. Clear. Clear.
And that was just sheer panic for me at that point in time. It was like, why can't we be at this hospital already? How far is it? Why can't they move faster?
For the third time, Bert's heart was shocked into beating again. But the oxygen supply to his brain had been disrupted for so long, there was little hope he'd survive without severe brain damage. Dr. Raj Singh was the cardiologist on call at the Dominican hospital that day.
Our last blood pressure was 110 palpated.
At the point he arrived in the emergency room, he had a good blood pressure and a reasonable pulse rate, but he was completely comatose. I told Mrs. Huffman there was a strong possibility that if her husband survived this hospitalization, that he may never walk or talk again.
I'll be right outside the room here. If you need anything, let me know.
Okay, thank you. Susan and I went with Bert to the ICU unit. Bert, it's Dale. Bert, Dale and Susan are with you. Can you hear us? You're going to make it, honey. We were talking to him and telling him he was in the hospital and that he was going to make it. At the same time, I realized that he may not make it. But I knew it was real important that we keep talking to him at that point in time.
And try something here.
Finally,
Bert,
Susan said to him, Bert, if you can hear me, squeeze my hand. He did squeeze her hand.
That's a good sign.
And then she said, Dale's on the other side. If you can hear her, squeeze her hand. Bert, it's Dale. Can you hear me? Can you hear me, honey? Squeeze my hand. He could hear us and move. And I thought, he's going to make it. I know he's going to make it.
To the surprise of almost everyone, Bert Hoffman has fully recovered. 1 year later, he's made changes in his lifestyle and continues to take medication, but he's survived the toughest battle of his life.
I remember nothing about the time I dropped until about 6-7 days later when I was in the hospital and woke up. I'm lucky to be alive from what they've told me. Me and my wife have become closer together because we both live one day at a time, 1 minute at a time, because you never know when it's going to hit.
Today, Bert's still involved in the Civil War Association. He's now on a cannon where he doesn't have to walk around or anything. And he still walks away with the biggest grin on his face every time he gets through.
How you doing, Patty? Fred?
It just makes me really happy to see him out there. It really does.
He is the exception and not the rule with heart attack cases. Especially being down for as long as he was. CPR saved his life. And all those people helping out that day helped keep him alive.
Same old one's happening. Hey, remember the last time you used that knife? You used it on him.
There he is, standing there talking and laughing, and, you think, what a hole there'd be if he hadn't survived.
That's a pretty good friend, huh?
Go keep an eye on the fire.
Being a firefighter, the greatest thing in my profession is to save a life.
There was one other thing.
And the greatest life to save is to save the life of a friend.
Well, buddy, it's nice to have you back.
Oh, brother, you guys kill me sometimes.